Humans have been trying to capture a visual record of the world around them ever since the first photograph, and this includes attempts to capture evidence of the unknown. Unfortunately, for every memorable photograph of a new discovery, there are several others that are outright hoaxes. As part of our effort to suck the fun and mystery out of the world forever, here are the real stories behind some incredibly bizarre photographs. The Surgeon's photograph. For decades, the famed 1934 Surgeon's photo of the Loch Ness Monster was the best proof that the fabled monster actually existed. British doctor R. Kenneth Wilson allegedly took the photograph whilst visiting Scotland, which shows an animal that looks like a plesiosaur, an extinct, long-necked reptile rising out of the water. But in 1994, investigators traced the origins of the photo and found one of the people responsible for the original, Christian Sperling. Sperling had constructed a miniature head and neck and mounted it onto a toy submarine for big game hunter Marmaduke Wetherell. Why? Because Wetherell had previously been humiliated by misidentifying hippo tracks as dinosaur tracks, so the hunter was more or less seeking revenge by getting the hoax photo published. Shortly before his death, Sperling admitted the entire ruse. The uncropped photo, which shows how small the monster is in comparison to the rest of Loch Ness, makes the fraud a bit more obvious. And if that's not enough proof, plesiosaur fossils show that it would have been physically impossible for one to extend its neck up and out of the water, like in the photo.
Hey, Professor.
You have a question?
How does Loch Ness Monster get it on? I mean, if there's only one out there, how do they make babies?
That's another good point, kid. Man, Ted Danson was full of crap. Zuiyo Maru carcass. In 1977, a Japanese fishing trawler named the Zuiyo Maru pulled a carcass out of the sea near New Zealand. The crew snapped a few photos and collected some tissue samples before throwing the rotting hunk of flesh overboard. At first glance, the carcass appears to be the rotting remains of a plesiosaur, not unlike Nessie, including the long neck and head. The tissue samples, however, revealed that what the fishermen pulled out of the ocean was likely the remains of a basking shark, the world's second largest fish. Look at that weird thing. The corpse of a basking shark decays in such a way that it can resemble the remains of a plesiosaur. The ocean is a gross and mysterious place. The face on Mars. In 1976, NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft took a photograph of what appears to be a human-like face made of rock on the surface of Mars. The photo became a tabloid phenomenon once NASA released it to the public. Was the face evidence of extraterrestrial civilization?
Behold, the great stone face of Mars. The only known entrance to the Martian reservation.
What about the great stone ass of Mars?
Well, yeah, but it's way on the other side of the planet.
Well, no. It's just an optical illusion created by light hitting the surface in a particular way. Seeing patterns in objects is an example of pareidolia, the brain's way of creating order out of chaos. It's why we see shapes in clouds, or a face in the moon, or Mars for that matter. More recent high-quality pictures shows the rock formation is actually less like a face and more like, well, a lumpy rock thing. Black Knight satellite. In 1998, the Space Shuttle Endeavour took this photo. According to conspiracy theorists, this is a Black Knight satellite, a 13,000-year-old alien object that orbits the Earth. Why haven't you heard about it? Because the government is hiding it from you, of course. So, what's the story of this mysterious object? And more importantly, was it about to project its alien death rays onto the Earth's surface? Did it take a crack team made up of Bruce Willis, Will Smith and Arnold Schwarzenegger to stop it destroying humanity? Actually, the object is a thermal blanket that the astronauts just lost during a mission. Hopefully, humanity is safe from the blanket's evil plans to cover the Earth with dangerous coziness. Loys ape. In 1920, a Swiss geologist named Francis Loys allegedly encountered a pair of aggressive humanoid apes in the jungles of Venezuela. According to Loys, he killed one of the creatures, propped it up on a box and took a photograph. The animal is notable because, if real, it would have been the only known ape native to the Western Hemisphere. Years later, Dr. Enrique Tejera wrote a letter after discovering that the photo was being treated as though it were real, stating that he worked with Loys in Venezuela. The letter made it clear that the animal in the photo was Loys' deceased pet spider monkey, and the photo's perspective made the monkey appear larger than it actually was. Loys' ape is now considered a well-publicised hoax by the modern scientific community, and his reputation was ruined by the deception. So, what's the lesson? Never mess around with your pet monkey, even in death. That way only lies disaster.
It's fine. Go on, Mojo. Show Marge you're happy then. And so on.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos like the one you just saw, and leave us a comment and let us know which bizarre photos you'd like to see explained.